Good morning, traders. John from Crypto Candlestick Trading. Just having a look at what we've got here today. Something going on. We can see that there's some good action that's happened here. We've got an engulfing reversal. If we have a look at like what we're looking at yesterday, the market was still trending negative. It was under the major moving averages, and still showing negative signs, but it was kind of indecisive at the same time. Because it had a lot of support here, a lot of support here, and a lot of support here. And now we've got our confirmation. Now, if we have a look at this for the reversal that I'm talking about, there's only two times that I like to buy under the 50 moving average. And even though this isn't one of those, we're under the 200. So the two times that I would buy when the moving averages aren't considered is this time and the other time. I'm going to show you where the volume will point that out to me. There's a few other cryptos that are in that scenario now, so I'll point that out a little bit later. But if we have a look here, we're going to substantial decline and some big buying come in. Then we've got another decline, and big buyings come back in. You can see the volume there. This is the day that things turned. This is the day that actually was the solid one that everyone came back into. Then we came back down here, and then we undercut these lows here to make sure that we took out any stop losses or whatever, and then big buying came back in there. So I was very undecided in this kind of time frame. In around here, the market could do absolutely anything, like what we saw last night, and it could also go the other way. In this kind of scenario, it's very negative. It doesn't know if it wants to go under or go above. And so here, what we can see, we've had a huge decline, and then we've got our first engulfing closing above the 9, which is fantastic. And we've made a low, and now we've kind of gone up, made a high. We've cracked the 50, but on very weak sort of action, and then we pull back. And then I thought this was going to be this candle here, was this one here, but obviously it wasn't big enough, not enough volume, and so anyway, that one failed. But now here we are again in this same pattern, but it's given us the second entry in that same pattern. But if we have a look at it, this one here looks like it's the true entry, even though we pulled back around about 15% from the top. But we've come down, we've got some very good buying coming. Look at the volume accumulation in this area too. Stochastics are oversold back here and over here. So we've got good pin bar buying there, and I thought the trend was going to continue down from here, but got completely reversed there. Pull back here, so we've got the 9 making high highs, high lows. So we've had a real decline, and we've had good buying come back in. We've got the 9 making high highs, high lows, and now we've got our second engulfing closing above the 9 and the 50. We've got the stochastics oversold, and we've got good volume accumulation that's happened in these areas. So it doesn't really get too much better than this. Only if I could swap these two candles here out, that'd be good, because this one here, what have we got? Another 24 minutes until the end of this candle. So, if it closes up a nice full body candle, that'd even be better. But what I'd kind of be expecting from a scenario like this is some sort of a pullback. If we get a pullback to the 50, I'll be looking at the 10-minute, 15-minute chart, somewhere around there, looking for reversals at this price here, if it comes down to there. So I'm just kind of gonna, 40,700 around about there. And so that line there. So if we pull back to around about there, I'll have an alert go off, and then I'll be looking at buying some stuff from there. But that's not to say that I won't be looking now. I definitely will be. So here we've got a reversal pin bar, and then we've got an engulfing closing above the 9 and the 50. And it's almost, it's a 90%, 85% full candle. So that's pretty good. This here is buying material. The only thing that is a little bit hesitant, that I'm a little bit hesitant about, is it's under the 200. And, I'd much rather be buying above the 200. But when this breaks out in this kind of scenario here, I've seen some very, very good things come from it. So now, if we're having a look at this scenario here, you can kind of see that we've kind of come down here below these moving averages, and then we've popped up above the moving averages here and pull back a little bit, and then we've got a shooting star, rocket booster that's taken off from that. So if we kind of have the same thing here, a little bit of mucking around for 2 or 3 days or whatever, and then a rocket booster, that would be a good time to be getting in. Or even if you're back down in these areas and you're seeing reversals happen, I'm not talking about buying Bitcoin. I'm talking about buying other currencies from Bitcoin's price action. Now, if we also have a look down here, I'll just shrink this up a little bit here. So we can kind of see here we've had a huge decline, and then big money's come back into it. And you can see all these long wicks down the bottom here, attempting all the time. And then it's come back down here. And then the last straw was this engulfing candle, on the support here, was the engulfing that happened here. And as you probably well know, that I got in the very next day, so I was buying at that time there. In this scenario here, it didn't give us an earlier entry. This one here is the early entry. So, but there's still a fair bit of room to move here. So I'll be in this kind of situation. I am going to be going out looking for the stronger cryptocurrencies to be getting into, and be buying into those. So let's just go through and we'll have a look at a few of those currencies and see what we're looking at. Oh, by the way, with this one here, you can also see that there's a huge amount of volume that's come in here as well. We're well above average, which is exactly what we're after. Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking strong. So kind of happy with that. Righto, let's have a look around. And so here we can see. So this scenario here looked very similar to this scenario here. And as you can see here, we've got our first close above the 9. The 9's making higher highs, higher lows. Stochastics are coming out of oversold. Then we've got an engulfing pattern that's happened here. And then we started to close above the 50. And we've even got a rocket booster there. I don't know if you can see that. It's quite small, but I'll just open it up a little bit just so you can kind of see it a bit better. Yeah, there's that rocket booster right there. So, even if it goes up above here, above the 50, and then it pulls back here and gives a rocket booster, have a look at the result that happened after that. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And then that came from this same buy, the same scenario that we're looking at now. Stochastics oversold, had a big sell-off and closing above the 9, pulling back, engulfing, closing above the 9, and now we're above the 50. And then, things are happening from there. But it all stemmed from the strength that came in from this here. And I'm seeing the same thing happen around these lows here. Even though we do see there's a lot of selling involved here, but we've pulled back and now we've got engulfing closing above the 9. It's gone all the way up and it's pulled back. The 9 is still making only just but higher highs and higher lows. Got good reversal, engulfing reversal, and now we've got engulfing closing above the 9 for the second time. So this here is looking pretty good. I don't mind this one here at all. And we can also see that this one is definitely a mover and shaker as well. Even if you're to be buying out of these lows here, look at that, it's gone from 86 bucks all the way up to 480 bucks. So, can this move? Absolutely. We'll just have to wait and see what it's going to do. But these kind of stages here, like I'd be looking for ones that are the best entries. I mean, this is a good entry here, but it's still below the 50. Can we get this same kind of entry here, but above the 50 on any of these other currencies? Let's just have a quick look, shall we? No, but the 9 is making lows, highs, higher lows, higher highs. We do have an engulfing closing above, an engulfing from the low here. That's looking pretty good. But, it's still not closing above the major moving averages. So, yep, here we are. We've got Ethereum that has, and we've got stochastics coming out. Look, here, this is good. So it's come down here below the 200, attempted the 200 and failed. And then it's come all the way down to here, and we've got stochastics oversold, and we've got nice reversal patterns happening here, up, came all the way back down, stochastics oversold, good pop in volume, and then we've got an engulfing closing above the 9 and the 50. So things are looking pretty good here for Ethereum too. Remember, Ethereum's number 2 when it comes to the movers and shakers in this market. And if you have a look here, there's kind of a resemblance of this kind of area here to this kind of area here. It'll be interesting to see what sort of a run we're going to get from this. But, it has pulled back a long way, and this is the first real sign of strength that we've seen since then. Having a look here when my moving averages turn up. Yeah, so this one here, this is Ethereum Classic. So let's just have a look here. We definitely know this one can move. That's for sure. I've seen this one go from $30 to, I think it was $30 all the way up to 400. And so here we're down at these lows here. I'll just open that up just a little bit more. We can see we've had a massive sell-off, a lot of buying coming back in. The selling continued, and then we're going to attempted rally and a pullback just to get rid of any other weak investors. And now we're going to an engulfing closing above the 9 and the 50. Look at the volume that's coming in here. Stochastics oversold. 9's making higher highs, higher lows. I like this one here. I'm going to move this one up to near where Bitcoin is there. So Ethereum Classic, I am liking that one there. Which one were we up to? I think we've already seen this one, and Ethereum. I think Neo was the next one that I was looking at. Yeah, so Ethereum, like I don't mind Ethereum either. If you look at that, that's doing the right things. Massive sell-off, rocket booster closing above the 9, pull back, massive engulfing closing above the 9, and then we've gone up, rejected at the 50, rejected at the 50, come back down, engulfing, closing above the 9 and the 50. So this is looking pretty good to me. Look at that volume that's above average there. Stochastics coming out of oversold, low, high, higher low, and we're on our first move to make our next higher high. So, yep, I'll move that up there. and we'll have a look at that too. You know, I don't like to buy the big ones, you know, the Ethereum and Bitcoin and stuff like that, simply because they don't move as fast, and it takes a lot, you know, it takes a lot of money to get them moving. Whereas with these smaller coins like these ones here, you know, you can get these things moving very quickly. Now, I do like this one here. Let's have a quick look at this one here. So this is Neo. So massive sell-off again, big buying coming back in, massive sell-off again, and then we're closing above the 9, and we're pulled back, closing above the 9. So the 9 is making lows, highs, higher lows, and now look at this close, how strong that close is. So we've got an engulfing rocket booster down the bottom, pull back a little bit. Now we've got an engulfing full body candle that's closed above both moving averages. 9's making high highs, high lows, stochastics coming out of oversold in both of those. Got a little bit of volume coming back in here. But I do like this. This candle here to me is looking good. So, you know, this is the kind of thing: low, high, high, low, and look at the strength that's coming back in here to try to make this next a high, high. And anyway, so the next target from here, like what's that now? 22.75. I'll be looking at the 200 for the next target around about. So let's say 35 bucks, 22 to 35. Yep, I'll be having a look at that for sure. Anyway, so this is basically all I'm going to do. I'm just going to go through each of these other cryptocurrencies and find good buying opportunities. And, you know, like say, for example, this one here, you know, Zcash, you know, and Zcash can move, you know. We can see here with massive sell-off. This is the same scenario again. The 9's making higher highs and higher lows now, or low, high, high, low. And now have a look at this massive push. Full body candle, engulfing, closing above the 9 and the 50. Good volume coming back in. Stochastics oversold. This is a no-brainer. I'm going to move that one up there as well, so I'll just be having a look at these as I go through today, or this morning at 10 o'clock. No, the 9 is still making lower highs and lower lows. I think we can get a better buy than that. This one here, well, only just, it looks really whiskey sort of trading though, like, you know, I mean, it's good because, you know, you can make some money, but but then again, it's not really all that good at the same token because you can get stopped out pretty quickly as well. But here we can see where 9 is making high highs and high lows. We've got our low here, high, massive rejection off that downtrend line. And we didn't actually undercut that low there. And now we've got an engulfing closing above the 9. So we've got a rocket booster there that took us above the 9. And here we've got an engulfing closing above the 9. And are we? Yep, we're only just making low, high, high, low, and on our way to making a high, high. Now, this one here is only okay because it's below the 50. I think we can do better than that. So we'll just keep on looking around until we find something. So here, this is pretty good here. Found support in the 50, pull back. Now we've got a doji. Massive long-legged doji too. Stochastics oversold. Decision made. Engulfing, closing above 2 moving averages. Yeah, so we've got a good low here that's formed. Massive big push too. Like if we look at that push there, let's say the entry there was say 65 cents and it's gone all the way up to 88 cents. That's pretty good. You know, and then here's our second entry here, closing above the 9, or, you know, even if you didn't get that one there, you got the second one here, which is the second one, 87 cents, sorry, 78 cents. And then the 200 will probably be the first one, 78 cents to 95 cents. I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. You know, that's actually not bad, that one there. Looking at this one here, yeah, it's just kind of okay. Yeah, it's below the 50. It's just all of a sudden it's touched the 50. So I'm not really too interested in that one there at the moment. Anyway, traders, I just wanted to go through these and just have a look. So I'm just kind of looking at these for Bitcoin being a breakout. And, you know, here we've got lower highs, lower lows, you know, so I'm not really all that interested in that. You know, it has to be good. So basically, what I want to do from here, I want to be sitting on the sidelines waiting. I don't want to dive in and jump in, you know, my whole account today. But what I want to do is sit on the sidelines and wait, and then go out and find the best possible entries that I can buy. So far today, I found, you know, maybe 2 or 3, and, you know, that's probably about all I'll get involved in, about 2 or 3. So, you know, I definitely don't want to go in and unload the account today. What I want to do is go in and position myself in the best looking ones that I can find with the strongest, you know, just ones that I like. Ones that are at the top of the, you know, like the other people like, you know, there's big plays in there too. So here, yeah, but it's still below the major moving averages. You know, it's doing the right things, but I want to see it close above the 50 and on Shiba. This one here, no, lower highs, lower lows with the 9 EMA, so we can do better than that. No, it's lower highs, lower lows. Not there yet. Here we are, same again. And so, as you can see, this market still has a little bit of room to move. Like we're not, it's not perfect yet. It's just good. So here, like, have a look at that Luna. Like, there's that rocket booster. So from that rocket booster, look where it's done: $65 up to $90. That's good, and that's only like in 5 days or something. So this is a rocket booster that closed above the major moving averages. So when you have a look at that, and you see around these times that when it's all green like this, go and have a look at the other cryptocurrencies. And if you see rocket boosters like this closing above the major moving averages, you can definitely enter a position there with your stops below the low. So that to me is is a go-to. Whereas this that's happened now, like if this was to happen now after a positive day like this, I'd be very, very interested in buying this here. Only because we've seen the last few days be quite negative with Bitcoin and the other cryptocurrencies. I wouldn't want to buy this in that scenario simply because it could actually, it has more chance, it's more vulnerable basically. Anyway, traders, we're 16 minutes in. I'll leave it at that. I hope you have a good day trading. And yeah, today is a good time to go out and buy a couple of entries and, the ones that you see that are the strongest. But well, anyway, that's what I'll be doing. I'll just be looking around. But I'm not in a major rush to unload the whole account, that's for sure. Keep your money safe. Buy one or two, maybe three at the very most. I'll probably be, limiting it to two. Because, as this grows strength, we're going to get plenty more buying opportunities. So there's definitely no rush. All right, traders, hope you have a good day. If you have any questions, let me know. Talk to you again soon. See ya.